Hi everybody, in this short presentation we'll be looking at the various methods of transferring leads. This has been a common request for us in LeadsHook. We've already got the features in place. It's more the training on how to set up your decision trees so that your leads transfer based on your requirements. So before I share with you the various methods, which is going to be random, sequential, and based on responses, I'll quickly cover the various leads transfer options that you have inside LeadsHook. So as of right now, we have 7 ways of transferring leads. Number 1 is the direct integrations. That's your Aweber, Drip, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, GetResponse, and Drip and Infusionsoft already integrated for direct integration, so you can continue to use those. We also integrate with Zapier, which you can also use. The third option is a webhook to Zapier. That's a new thing we've added in, where it's much more reliable and I think much faster than the Zapier option, because it removes Zapier's polling and you can push leads out to Zapier in real time. So the Zapier integration, generally what it does, it polls every couple of minutes. So depending on the payment plan that you have at Zapier, it could poll it anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 or 20 minutes, and which means that your leads transfer in quite slowly. Actually, it's a little bit too slow, at least for 2019. We want to have things happening much faster. So one way to speed that up is to use the LeadsHook's webhook capability and transfer directly into Zapier. So we've got training materials on that. Please go to our knowledge base at leadshook.com/help and enter in Zapier, and you'll see the video and training on how to set that up. It's really not that difficult. The fourth option is webhooks, which is the same as the third option, except you webhook directly into a third-party CRM, much like you would webhook into Zapier. So you could webhook into Salesforce, Autopilot HQ, any of the high-end CRM/marketing type platforms, marketing automation platforms, and you can webhook into a lead distribution system, and you can pretty much webhook anywhere these days. And so that check out the training on that as well. The fifth option is obviously downloading your leads. There are a couple of options to download, which I'll go through shortly. Number 6 is email notification, and number 7 is the API. I'll quickly log into LeadsHook now and show you what these look like, and so that way you're familiar with them and know where to get the information to set that up. Okay, so covering just the methods of lead distribution. The first one is direct integrations, and those are pretty easy to set them up. You go into admin, go to lead collection, and this is where you'll go ahead and set up your integration. So click, let's say if you want MailChimp, then go ahead and do that. Enter in set connection. You'll, generally speaking, most of these platforms you'll be redirected to the third-party platform. Enter in your login and password details, and you'll be directed back to LeadsHook with the integration done. In some cases, like ActiveCampaign, you'll put in your API keys, URL and API key. Once again, the training for all of these is available within our help at leadshook.com/help. Just enter in lead distribution or ActiveCampaign, and the video or the training will show up. It's generally a 2-3 minute video to show you what to do. All right, so that's the first method. The second one is Zapier. It obviously requires you to log into Zapier, and so we're just going to go for lead distribution. Okay, so that's where you have the complete summary. It's called the complete guide to lead distribution from LeadsHook, and that's where we have the videos on what to do. All right, so that explains that. The webhook to Zapier, or the Zapier one, you just scroll down to the Zapier section, which is right over here. It is a short introduction to Zapier, how to create a Zap, integrating with other apps, so all the videos are here. I think we have 8 videos for you to transfer in Zapier, including a video on how to transfer from LeadsHook to Google Sheets using Zapier. Right, so the next one is webhooks to Zapier, which is number 3, which is the video number 8 over here, which is showing you the alternate method of how to take the leads out of LeadsHook, in this case using webhooks. Now in the UI, the webhook functionality is available as a node. So I'm just going to go into the canvas, add, scroll down to the API node, type in your request URL, your payload in XML or JSON, any headers that may be required, such as your API key or your login password or some sort of authentication token. Enter that there, and basically that's how you would use that. So at the end of your decision tree, you would link it to your webhook, and the data will get sent out. So once again, this is where the same node you'll use for Zapier. Number 5 is download the CSV. All right, so we have 2 options there. The first option is download everything about a specific decision tree. Come here, go download leads, and it'll create a download file for you. Alternatively, you could come under leads here. So I'm just quickly going to go over here and go and export those out, so you can display the various columns. You can also use enable export selection and say, well, I only want to use that lead and that lead, and then go ahead and go export, and it'll export out only the 2 leads selected. All right, so that's the other way of doing it. So you can do it from this UI by selecting. Of course, you can go ahead and select all as well, or you can use the filtering to narrow down to what you're looking for, and then go ahead and export out what you need. Right, so that's the CSV option. The next one is email notification. Going back into LeadsHook, which is right over here, email notification, and go ahead and enter in your integration to your SMTP integration, and then the to, from, and if you're looking to do your own content, type that in. All the custom fields available, and you can go ahead and build whatever messaging you want. You can also send an email directly through to your own lead, actually, to not just clients, but your own lead. If you're looking to do that, then just enter these 2, and that's going to create that. Right, to send leads to your clients, it would be just entering in the email field here, which is in our case, in LeadsHook's case, is email. And this will replace the email of the person if they've already obviously given your email in the decision tree. And you can send them a special message over here, and by selecting the SMTP configuration. Now, where do you set up the SMTP configuration? Good, let's go and cover that now, which is going to be in the new lead notification, and go ahead and enter in your these are just 2 test ones that I have. Go ahead and add, and go and enter the details, and that creates your SMTP connection. It could be any third party or your own server or whatever you're using to blast out your emails. Right, so that covers the email notification. The one thing I did want to share with you is you can actually use all of them at the same time. So it's not a choose one but not another. So I can webhook, I can send an email notification, and I can go ahead and send it to, for example, Aweber. All right, so that's the just string them along, and LeadsHook will fire each one of those sequentially as added on this specific in your decision tree. It'll follow this order. All right, let's continue on to the last option, which is the API option, which if you come under, now that's different to the API node we have. The API node is for real-time API calls that you can make inside a decision tree. Here we're looking at giving you the API access itself, so you can query your lead whenever you want, which is right over here. Go ahead and click the API access, and go ahead and add the API credentials, which will be client ID with a client secret, and here are the docs to go and see the documentation on the various API calls available for you. Right, so that basically covers a good summary of the 7 methods of leads transfer. Now we're going to go through the next section on actually the transfer rules that you could establish to transfer your leads out of LeadsHook. Please go to the next video where we will be looking at the transfer rules.